Alrighty, hello. My name is Michaela Bennett, and this will be my video presentation about anxiety disorder. My bad, I did not start my music because sitting in the quiet is a no-go. Anyway, so don't mind me. Every so often, this is my tablet. This has my mini script to make sure, it's like flashcards to make sure I hit all my points that I would like to hit, as well as I will doodle a couple thought processes and so you can visualize and you can see, because I need to see things sometimes. But anyway, so anxiety is a disorder. And it's a psychological disorder involving persistent fear, worry, and physical tension. A disorder, magic. The umbrella term disorder can include things like distress, dysfunction, and impairment on daily life. So for anxiety, it's symptoms like excessive, long-lasting, and interference with functioning. So if you're extremely anxious about doing something, or like getting out of bed, going to do, it's kind of just like it's a buffer, it's an obstacle, it's a roadblock, and you're constantly just perceiving it, and it causes a person to I don't want to do it, anxiety. That's one aspect of it. So being diagnosed with a disorder must include abnormal thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. That's one thing. Second thing, significant distress. God, significant distress. Third thing is functional impairment, as we've said, with socializing, going to school, academics, that's the word, and occupational areas, so like work, as we've talked about. It's just a roadblock, it's there, and you perceive it, and world turns upside down. I don't want to do it. So, while we're talking about anxiety disorder, it's actually also called generalized anxiety disorder. So, GAD. And when you're getting tested for it, I think I wrote these ones down as a doodle. Yes, I did. Ooh, you can't see my tablet. Goodness. Anyway. Yes. So, when you're getting diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, the doctors, the people, they'll be looking for the crippling, excessive worrying. So, like we talked about, it's not an everyday occurrence, but it's damn near is. It's just constantly on your mind. There is the physical and cognitive symptoms. There are the cognitive and symptoms. Pardon. Three must be there. Three or more must be there for an adult, one for a child, as well as impairments. Where'd my notes go? Those symptoms that we were talking about that an adult, so us, would have for three of them would be the edginess or restlessness, fatigue or tiring easily, difficulty concentrating or the mind going blank, irritability, muscle tension or aches, and sleep disruptions. So having a hard time sleeping, or hard time staying asleep, things along those lines. The impairment is like we were talking about earlier, going to work, getting out of bed, things like that. They're all related. Oh wow, shocker. Other so while general anxiety disorder is like the umbrella term or the rainbow, you have little droplets that also come from it, and things like panic disorder, so unexpected panic attacks or fear of future attacks. Bam. Social anxiety disorder, fear the intense fear of social judgment or embarrassment. Specific phobias like fear of objects or situations. I don't have it, but god damn it, we don't like to do things. Agoraphobia. There's a cool song by Corpse Husband on like Spotify and YouTube. He sings a whole song about it, and that is the fear of leaving your house or going into public spaces. Who would have guessed? And then there's separation anxiety or select mutism, which apparently is common in children. Shocker. Actually, yeah, that's not really surprising, honestly. So you can have anxiety by itself. It's not like a codependent thing, like if you have this, you'll have that. But okay, so anxiety is a standalone, but you can have it coexist with other things, which for this project we had multiple topics, and lo and behold, all these topics can coexist with my topic, anxiety. So depression, substance use disorders, apologies, OCD or PTSD, and like it's like having two devils on your shoulder. They can amplify each other and just make your whole world upside down once again. So the prevalence of anxiety, we have about 31% in the US for adults in their lifetime, and 31% of adults experience an anxiety disorder in their lifetime. 19% experience one each year. I don't know how 2 and 2 go together, but like you would think. I guess it is just the world is not nice, guys. Anyway, and then you have a lifetime. You can I have a lifetime chart, and so there's specific phobias for. Okay, so it's certain things with a percentage. So the lifetime prevalence chart that I am looking at has specific phobias that go for 31. Pardon, I mixed my numbers around. Specific phobias, 13%. Social anxiety disorder, 12%. Generalized anxiety disorder, 6%. Panic disorder, 5%. In the demographic, lo and behold, even though we don't do a lot of research on women things, women are twice as likely to have anxiety disorders. Shocker. We use our brains a lot, apparently. The world just doesn't seem to get that. We need to have more research on, we need to have more studies on females. I don't like that word. Women. And just like how separation disorder and select mutism is found in most of the time in children, it starts when they're young. Like the anxiety disorders, childhood or adolescence. So the implications of having an anxiety disorder as an individual are difficulties concentrating or chronic worrying, avoidance of situations, avoidance of feared situations, muscle tension, stomach issues, headaches. The constant worrying puts a damper on your body. It's constantly in a fight or flight, essentially. So you're just like, the body's just like, my stomach hurts. My head hurts. You're tight. Tension. Sleep disruption. So you're tired all the time because you either can't fall asleep or you can't stay asleep. the irritability or emotional instability. You're constantly worried. You're constantly in fight or flight. Everything is at a level 10 or higher because you're already there. It's just gone. Reduced work slash academic performance. Again, you're up here. Everything is a problem, essentially. And then the risk of depression or substance use because we're up here. Maybe if I stay in bed all day, I'll be okay. Maybe if I use something to dampen my mood and null things, I'll feel better. Unfortunately, it doesn't work because then we have another problem. Another problem to add on top of our anxiety. Impact on family. Because, of course, if it impacts me, not me, if it impacts us, it impacts our family because if it's my problem, it's your problem. So with family, it can increase conflict or stress because, again, I'm at a level 10, and if you're going to come over here and bother me while I'm at a level 10, I'm going to bother you. Family members take on more tasks, and later down the line, they might have resentment for that. So another problem. Avoiding situations can limit family activities. If you don't have that good of a support system while you have these disorders, you're gonna get left out, unfortunately. Or your family is just gonna make it like family. Other people dealing with you is just a problem. Caregiver burden or burnout, again, like they're gonna care, and then it's gonna be a problem. Can influence family dynamics and children's emotional well-being. You're at a 10, you're gonna it's just there, and it just happens. The causes or contributing factors, biology wise: genetics, family history, dysregulated neurotransmitters, overactive fear center. Psychologically, maladaptive thinking patterns, learned fears, poor conditioning, cognitive distortion. Sometimes I can't read, guys. Apologies. So, overthinking. Duh. And then in social and environmental aspect for what can cause anxiety is trauma, stress, chronic life challenges. That's one. Family dynamics. I feel like that ties back into chronic life challenges because sometimes family is the trauma. Financial academic pressures. I'm not normally at a 10, but adding pressure and stress on makes it at a 10. And then if it's constant, which is why it can be so prevalent in children, as well as like it starts at childhood, is because like we're constantly going to school. Some parents have this high expectation for their kids, and then it just circles and circles and circles, and the kid can't escape because it's the child, and then boom, anxiety disorder. Yeah, disorder. And then there's cultural expectations. So no wonder why it starts at childhood or adolescence, or it like first starts happening there. A child doesn't have as much control of its life, and so the people around it just feeds it. So nature versus nurture. But lucky us, there is some treatments for it. So there is therapy. You can go to therapy, and that will help it out. Cognitive behavioral therapy, that's the default, that's the gold standard treatment. It helps identify and reframe negative thinking, and includes exposure techniques for feared situations. Then there's also exposure therapy. Duh. There's also acceptance and commitment therapy. If I said I'm going to go to the gym, even though I'm terrified of the gym, I'm going to go. And you know what? I'm going to do my workout. I'm going to be great. And when I'm done, I'm wonderful. Yes? Group therapy. That's probably best for like social. Yes, it is. Helpful for social anxiety. Yay. So that's all the therapies. But there's also medicine. Yes, medicine. So you have SSRI. So unfortunately, I can't say medical names. Actually, I have a hard time reading. I mix up things all the time. I can't read. But yes, the SSRI, the SNRI. That's something for short-term use only. Benzo. I really wish you could see my tablet so I could just write it out. But I'll include it. I'll include my transcript or something. But yeah, there's medicine for it. Hurrah. There's also combined treatment approaches that can work. So yeah, ultimately, there is treatment, either therapy or some type of medicine. Cool. And then there's the lifestyle and self-management strategies that a person can use. So exercising or physical activity, meditation and mindfulness, healthy sleeping routines, limited caffeine, balanced nutrition, and support groups. Wonderful. So, in conclusion, anxiety is actually pretty common and also very treatable. The diagnosis requires persistent, excessive worrying plus physical symptoms plus life impairment. So, more often than not, you're always worrying about something for more than 6 months. So 6 months out of the year, you're constantly worrying about something, you might have anxiety. It's not like an every other day or a small thing. It's constant. It's like almost like a 3680 or whatever that word is. 24/7. There it is. It's kind of like that. It's just always going, always going. And then there's the physical symptoms. I can't get out of bed. I can't. Like you just. And then there's the life impairment. Because of the other two, it's hard for you to do school. It's hard for you to do work. It's hard for you to accomplish your usual normal things. Impairment. Duh. I can't be out in society. I can't go outside and stuff like that. But, combined with cognitive behavioral therapy, medicine, and lifestyle support changes and techniques, they offer strong outcomes to help mediate and situate. So understanding anxiety promotes compassion, early intervention in healthy communities. All right, guys, thank you for joining my TED Talk. Yay! I hope you liked all my hand gestures because that's just how I talk. Okay, cool. Bye.